Okay.
Setting up, redirecting. Okay, we are live.
Now I'm watching on YouTube.
Woohoo.
All right, let me reboot. Says that it's playing.
Let's see.
Okay. Let's see. Sent to YouTube. Let's try that. There we go.
Let's see.
Yep, I got it.
Got it?
Yep, we're live. I see us. Hooray! All right. Now, do you want to record? Will it let you record now?
Give me 1 second. I'm going step by step here.
Mhm.
Okay. Or
Perfect. Awesome.
okay, you can see my screen.
I can see your screen. I see us on YouTube. I've got YouTube open. I've got the slides open. I think
Amazing.
those are great. And now it's about to show you sharing your screen. Let me just see. Yep. Okay. On YouTube, we're seeing the screen. Mhm.
Wonderful. And
Our
can you,
business.
so you're going to manage the
Yep.
chat?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And
Yep.
can you, are you able to tell if people are joining?
Yes, I'm able to tell, but no one's here yet. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, do we
So
wait or do we just go?
why don't we give it maybe a couple minutes? Go 35 after maybe. And then in the meantime, we can talk about how excited we are.
We are excited. This is exciting.
Okay. Wonderful. All right. Well, perfect. Yes, we are all set. Everything's doing great. So yeah, how are the kitties today? How are they doing? We'll just chit
They are
chat.
hunkered down because it's very cold outside, and they all each have their own little heating pad.
Mhm.
I got my one of my torties a bat cave, so she's currently resting inside the bat cave on her personal heating pad, and she is out. She's in what I call a heater coma.
That sounds amazing.
She's happy. They're happy. But
Oh,
yes, I told my husband he has to babysit
I
while
said the
I'm
same thing. We've
live
got
on
some
YouTube.
sleeping around here, but I think they'll stay sleeping, so we're good. Yes, but I did tell everyone, quiet, quiet.
Sure, they'll listen.
Oh, yes, of course. The husband, the mom, the pets. Wonderful. Well, let's see. Okay.
Oh, you told your husband and your mom to be quiet.
Oh,
How did
yeah.
that go over?
Okay. Well, we have someone watching us. That's exciting. Hello. Welcome, welcome to our live stream. Okay, so I think that there's a little bit of a lag between us and the video.
Yes.
So we're so excited to see you. And let me go ahead and jump in here with this chat. Hang on 1 second. Bear with me. Okay, so we want to go to. I'm just getting myself finalized here. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so perfect. Okay, so we want to go. Okay, so I'm going to say hello to people in the chat. Hello, everyone. I'm just getting
Hi,
myself
everybody.
finalized here. Oh, you can hear me. There we go. Okay, this is Dr. Alex and Dr. Amy. Please leave any questions you might have in this YouTube chat. I
Yeah, we'll
will
do questions at the end.
will save questions
But
for
please introduce yourself if you would like.
the free to introduce yourself. Oh, wonderful. It's my Alba. One of my good friends is here.
Hi,
Okay.
Alba.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, well, let's get started, shall we? I think some more people might be trickling in, but we have our first student here. Okay,
Well, welcome. We
exciting.
are so excited. And we are
Yes.
live on YouTube. Okay, so welcome to our official
Mhm,
launch of
mhm.
Dissertation Collective. This is a lot of work went into this, a lot of months of figuring things out. But here we are at last, and just can't be more excited.
Oh,
Yes, so we have our emails there. Hello, and then my email and Alex's email, Dr. Amy and Dr. Alex.
yes, exactly. And then you also have there, although you found your way here, our YouTube channel information. And yes, please feel free. The hello email is our general email for random questions related to coaching. And if you are particularly interested, especially as we start introducing ourselves and our specialties, you might have a better idea of who you might want to work with. So now you'd know to go to Amy or myself. All right, let's keep going.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about what is Dissertation Collective. So, in terms of as a company, what do we do? What do we offer? And what makes us unique?
Mhm.
Who we are, who are our clients, the level of support that we offer, and the grad student archetypes, which is a part of what makes our approach unique. And then we'll end with the promotional offer.
Yay!
Yay!
Sounds great. Okay, so thanks for that, Amy. So, first of all, what is Dissertation Collective? I feel like if you're a grad student, you might be more familiar with these dissertation coaching companies, but really what our goal is at Dissertation Collective is to provide coaching for graduate students, whether they're working on their master's thesis or they're in their doctorate of any kind, working on a dissertation. And really, our goal is to have not only one-on-one support, which is something we see in a lot of the coaching sphere, so to speak, but adding that element of community is really something that we're hoping to contribute to an area of grad school that we don't get to see a lot of community. And so I think coming from where we came from, which we'll get to, we really wanted something that helps students feel like they're not alone, feel that they're part of a bigger picture, a community, that they have other people going through similar walks of life, similar challenges at the time. So not only do we have that emphasis on community, but Dr. Amy and I, we really want to give you that one-on-one support too, because you are valuable and deserve that kind of attention. Okay.
So, what makes us unique? So, this is very
Mhm.
important. I think that really at a high level, starting at a high level, it's time for change. I think, when I entered my PhD program, it was disappointing and a bit surprising the lack of transparency and the lack of support that I received. And there was just a sense that I went through it this way. I muddled through and no one helped me. So therefore you have to muddle through the same exact way. And then you start to realize that there is a kind of academic hazing that is not specific to any one program. We now know Dr. Alex and I have worked with hundreds of clients all over the world. It's a
Mhm.
universal phenomenon. For whatever reason, this academic hazing thing is a universal
Mhm.
phenomenon, but we want to change that with our
Mhm.
company. And so that underscores everything that we do, because this is it's a high stakes, it's a very personal thing going through your dissertation. So we want to change the impersonal nature, um, and that factors into our whole student
Mhm.
approach. So we found patterns working with so many clients all over the world, and that was that the surface level issues that were emerging in terms of like, is this the best
Mm-hmm.
research question? How do I structure my chapter one? I can't seem to make deadlines, are rooted in mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can't control what programs do and don't do, and you can't control the level of support that you get from your advisors, but you can control and work on and adapt your mindset to this incredibly challenging, frustrating, lonely experience. And it is shocking that this what we call whole student approach is that, yes, we want to help you, like, in a concrete way, finish your chapter one and develop your research questions wherever you are in the process. But we also want to address, the time management, the motivation, the
Mm-hmm.
other things that are going on, so that you can kind of apply that knowledge as you move forward and you continue to be successful,
Mm-hmm.
beyond us. um, those psychological drivers: motivation, confidence, stress, perfectionism, time management, all of those things. And so this is truly what makes us unique. And we are researchers, so we want to practice what we preach. So everything we do is underscored by research-based psychology. So we're published researchers ourselves. So we want to make sure that everything we do is experience based on our experience, but also based on what
Mm-hmm.
others who have done studies on these things, mindset and how to develop your mindset, what they say. um and so, and going back to the personalized thing, that this is so important to me. Going through my program, it just drove me crazy that it felt so cold, right? And then working with clients, um I realized that it's kind of, a lot of people feel that way. So we want to create a warm, community centered space that is personal to what you're going through, and that you feel seen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And our clever little alliterative motto: uh, mindset, motivation, mastery. So, and the arrows represent direction. So before you can master anything, you have to be motivated, and before you can be motivated, you have to understand your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
True for anything. I think an easy comparison would be to athletes. So if you've ever seen like a really good documentary about a famous athlete, I watched a really good one on Michael Jordan. He's an
Mm-hmm.
obvious one, right?
Yeah.
Fascinating. And he for sure was born with natural skill, but before he floated to his first layup, he trained his mind to
Mm-hmm.
translate pressure into performance. Um, so this is also, there's a lot of similarities to someone going through the dissertation process, because it's high stakes, it's high pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and it can feel chaotic at times. Um,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And just, piggybacking off of that, I think, we have so many of those kinds of expressions of, Rome wasn't built in a day and things like that, where it takes time and you need not only the tools, the time, as you're saying, it's so much more than just I sit down to write and I finish writing. No, there's a lot more that goes into it, lots of hurdles, challenges, life stuff in general. And so really what we wanted with this motto is to emphasize that whole person approach, like you mentioned, of you're more than just your ability to write and do research. You have all these other skills as well. We talk about soft skills, but things like mindset and motivation, those are essential for mastery. So I'm really happy you brought that up. Yeah. Yeah. So who are we?
who are
Okay.
we? Who are
Who are we? Now it's philosophy
we're
time.
going to get
Okay.
really existential here. Oh wow, that's me. That's a big picture of
Who
my
are
face.
you?
I am Dr. Amy Murdoch. I have a PhD in educational leadership and policy. Um, I got my first professional dissertation coach job pretty quickly after I graduated, and I was a professional dissertation coach for 4 years, about 4 years. Before that, I taught overseas in the United Arab Emirates, was an amazing experience. I got to travel to a lot of different places, and that really, I think it really kind of shaped who I am in a lot of ways because I got to engage with different cultures and different people from different backgrounds. Um, it truly informed how I approach working with clients because we all have a lot of things in common at this graduate level, and we focus on the commonalities, but everybody has different things going on as well and coming from different cultures, and so that's me, that really
Mhm.
shapes who I am, is having an awareness of that. And then before that, I was a high school English teacher for 14 years. I taught English
Mhm.
uh, in a local high school in the United Arab Emirates as well.
Mhm.
um, Before that, I guess my whole life I've been a writer.
Mhm.
I think my first love was fiction.
Mhm.
Loved creative writing, but you know, it was hard out there getting published. As
Sure.
soon as I switched to nonfiction writing, I started getting published. So, been a nonfiction writer for years and years.
Mhm. Mhm.
I love it. Pretty much
Mhm.
just write about whatever kind of interests me at the time. And then, last but not least, yes, I'm an animal lover.
Mhm.
3 cats causing mayhem and chaos in my life each and every day, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I suppose we should mention as well our methodologies that we specialize in because you said
Yeah,
at the beginning.
please. Mhm.
So I'm qualitative all the way. I'm a words, not a numbers person. So that's me. As long as you're doing a qualitative methodology, I can help.
Mhm. Absolutely. Perfect. This is me. Okay, well, yes, and before I get into myself, well, philosophical again, I think, kind of drew Amy and I together is we have a lot in common, which is pretty funny, but so I'm Dr. Alex Schaefer. I have a background mostly in the world language education area. Big fan of education, like Amy. And so I have a master's in French literature and culture and a PhD in second language acquisition. And right after I got my PhD, my first position out of grad school was as an assistant professor of French and linguistics, not in the States, over in Central Asia in Kazakhstan. So I worked in Kazakhstan and taught French and linguistics and communication there. Um, and that kind of brought me into being a professional dissertation coach. I've been doing that for 5 years. And really, what my love of education and speaking multiple languages, I am a polyglot, is being able to connect with other humans. I think there's so much to be said about using education and languages as a means to kind of build tolerance in the world, form human bonds. And so that's really near and dear to my heart. And as you can see, like Amy, I've also been a teacher. In fact, I'm still a teacher. I teach adult French at the college and adult level. But I've taught all the way from preschool, 3 and 4-year-olds loved it at a French immersion school, all the way. I think the oldest client I've ever had, oldest student I've ever had is in their 80s. So I've gone from one end of the spectrum to the other, and I just love it. As I kind of hinted at, I'm a polyglot, so I was raised bilingually in French and English. And then as an undergrad, I studied Russian, which is part of why I wanted to go to Kazakhstan. And then being from California, I developed a pretty good proficiency in Spanish just as a way of respect for the state's many inhabitants. And then right now, I am learning German intensively. So I just love languages. I love connecting with other people. And Amy, I'm going to one up you here. I have 4 cats. So together, we might as well have to start an animal sanctuary. But yes, I have 4 cats and 2 dogs. And so I'm just really happy to be here and always happy to be with you. And I focus mostly on quantitative research. I have a little bit of a preference for mixed methods. I can also do qualitative, but nowhere near as exceptionally as Dr. Amy. So if you need something qualitative, go to Dr. Amy. Quantitative and mixed methods, I'm your girl. So feel free to reach out to me. I'm excited to work with you. Yeah, that's us.
Wow. Dr.
Yeah,
Alex, you are impressive.
it's so less same as you.
Well, I don't know. I
Uh,
don't know. That's amazing. And we do have a lot in common. I always
we
forget about
do, we
those
do,
things.
we do. It's kind of two sides of the same coin, I would say, right? Plus, we're both A's. Okay. Oh, and we also found out, this is an aside, that one of my ancestors is grew up in the town where Dr. Amy lives.
Oh,
So
that's
there you
right.
go.
That's
All right.
right.
So the connections. Okay. So enough about us. Who are our clients? Well, if you are a graduate student somewhere in the world, you are our client. So if you're feeling stuck at any point, I think Dr. Amy and I can both attest to feeling stuck many times in grad school. Or if you're feeling isolated during your program, seeking community, this is near and dear to both our hearts. We really, this is a core value of Dissertation Collective. So if you're looking for like-minded folks who are going through the struggle just like you, go piggybacking onto the next point. If you're at wit's end and just want to be done, let us help you out. If you are striving for excellence, you want to have the best dissertation anyone's ever had, ever, right? We can help you, okay? I don't know how we'd measure that, but anecdotally, if you're just curious, what is a dissertation? How do I do this? What's a thesis? What are the processes I go to? If I'm you and I just passed my comprehensive or qualifying exams and now I have to write a dissertation, what's a dissertation? We can help you there. And then if you are someone who just really wants to get to the nitty-gritty, you want that really personalized feedback, you want to, be told exactly what to do, we can do that too. So as you can see here, if you fit into some of these but not another, that's just kind of highlighting how different grad students are. And all of them we want to help. So that's us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so here are different tiers of support. Of course, we offer individualized one-on-one
Mhm.
coaching with either Dr. Alex or I, and we do individualized coaching in live sessions and in reviews of your paper, your chapter, whatever you want us to look at. Um, and group cohorts, well, we're going to go through each one of these in the community, and then, of course, free resources.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so individualized coaching. Um, when I think about um, the importance of getting personalized feedback and not just, looking something up online, and you can find things online, but nothing will substitute someone looking at your paper or listening to and having you talk through your paper and what your questions are, and having somebody go, this is what you need to do, one, two, three.
Mhm.
So really nothing can substitute one-on-one support. We are here for you, and we're pretty flexible with our scheduling, and flexible in terms of, like, if some, like, I have clients who with most clients it's a mixture of using the video and meeting online, and then also editing their papers. So it's kind of a mixture of that. But some people are very busy and they just want to say, okay, can you give
Mhm.
me detailed feedback on my chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, and they just don't have time to meet. And then other people, they want to just meet live. So everybody's a
Mhm.
little bit different. So we're pretty flexible in terms of accommodating your schedule and accommodating the how you want the information delivered. But no matter what, it's very specific, and we've both worked with a lot of people whose topics are complicated, whose situations are complicated, whose committees are complicated. So there's nothing that's just beyond our
Mhm.
reach, that's
Mhm.
beyond something that we can help you with. So hopefully that's a little bit affirming.
Yeah,
um
and to echo that, I'm thinking of myself. I've worked with everything from business majors to queer studies majors to chemistry majors to computer science, AI, cultural studies. Truly, don't think that you are without help because we can help you. We've seen a whole variety of topics in a variety of domains and fields, and we're happy to help.
Just about everything you can
Yeah.
possibly imagine. And people say, "Are you an expert in this topic? Are you an no, but as long as your methodology is in line with, with,
Hmm.
like, for me, qualitative,
Hmm.
the topic is really secondary to that, because we're
Hmm.
we're really focused on structure. But I, having said that, I've become a sort of pseudo expert on all kinds of things since being a
Right?
professional
Right.
coach, and I love it because I love learning, so it works
Hmm.
out.
Same, same.
Okay, so that's individualized coaching. Um,
Absolutely. And Amy, since you're on a roll here with the individualized coaching, why don't you tell us about what these group cohorts are too,
okay,
right?
so
Yeah,
moving on to group cohorts. And you are seeing my screen change, right?
I am. I
Okay,
am.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so when I think about what we want to do with the group cohorts is, um, when I was going through my program, I relied heavily, heavily on my cohort, and they
Hmm.
were amazing, from the small questions like deadlines and things, to bigger questions about methodology. Could not have done it without them. I wish I had known that there was such a thing as dissertation
Right.
coaching while I was going through my program. I didn't know
Hmm.
that that existed.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't think that it really did exist, like it does now. But with our group cohorts, it's a best of both worlds in
Hmm.
terms of you can show up with your own, friends or cohort that you already know, or meet new people.
Yep.
And but it's coach led.
Hmm.
So we are checking in with you, weekly. You have access to us via email, but you can also rely on this new or old cohort.
Hmm.
So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. And I've had that before too. I don't know about you, Dr. Amy, but there were times throughout my dissertation coaching where someone would say, I'm here with my lab and maybe we want some help. Or my friend and I are in the same cohort and we're looking for a little bit of help together. So it's quite common, and I think that we're absolutely happy to help with this as well. Some folks work a lot better in groups, some work more with individualized, and that might change as well. Myself, I tended to do a mixture of group and personalized help when I was in grad school. At times I wanted to just be alone and focus, other times where I wanted to be in a larger group. And so we wanted to give you, as Amy says, the best of both worlds.
Okay, the dissertation collective community. Now, this is the space that I am so excited about. We're going to be using this app called Circle. It's really cool. It's kind of like a Facebook group, except there's a lot more you can do with it. And we're going to offer a lot of resources, and just like a forum, but that when you sign up, you are engaging 24/7, right? You have 24/7 access to it. So you a question pops up and you don't want to forget it, you can pop over to the forum and ask it. And people all over the world, I think that's the coolest thing, is that you're
Mhm.
going to be able to engage with people, in your country or in a different country, who have some of the same questions and are going through the same. And that's what it's about, right? Is being in a space where you experience like-minded, high-functioning people. It's in a structured, calm atmosphere, but can make you feel like, you're not alone in this, and that a lot of different people are sharing a lot of the same things. And I think that's immensely, immensely valuable.
Absolutely. And, I think for the younger generations, I'm thinking Gen Z, Gen Alpha. Hopefully, no Gen Alpha are in grad school yet, I would hope. But wow, there are some Smarties. But it makes me think of, kind of forums, like you said, Facebook groups. I loved Facebook groups for so long. The sense of community you get when you're working on a similar project or have a similar interest, all the way to Reddit, right? Reddit is a fun place for community as well. And so we wanted to find something that was accessible. That's another key word for Dissertation Collective is accessibility. So for those folks who are not maybe able to go for the private coaching or the group cohort at this time, they still have something that's not cost prohibitive. And they're
Yeah.
also getting that sense of community. I think this was really important to us. And Dr. Amy and I will be checking in too, right? We're not just going to leave you alone. We're going, like she said, have these accountability sessions. And so this dissertation collective community is really designed with being able to afford some help, being able to find a community, and maybe even make new friends, right? So, I have clients all over the world who come from different backgrounds as me, and there's so many ways to find a commonality, and a lot of that is through research and education. So, I just think this is fantastic.
I know. I'm so excited. I know. Oh my
Mhm.
God. I wish I had known or
Right?
been a part of something like had access to this for,
Right?
all the questions, all the many, many questions.
Hmm.
And so I wouldn't have had to muddle through and feel so
Hmm.
alone. So I'm very excited about this. And
Or
yes,
just silly
every,
experiences too.
yeah, it's just more pleasant. It makes the actual process feel more fun, God forbid. Um, but yes, we'll have every week a coach-led accountability session. So we'll shut up and write, for an hour. And so I think that's going to be great. And we'll always take feedback on like, okay, guys, what sorts of things are you working on? What sorts of
Hmm.
support? What questions do
Hmm.
you have? And if we
Hmm.
don't have the answer, which, we've worked doing this so long, it's hard to imagine that we wouldn't have an answer at least. We'll find it. We'll find it for you.
Absolutely. We are researchers after all. All right. Well, let's talk about these free resources because I don't know about
Yes,
you, but free is my favorite number, especially these days where things are so expensive. And just in my personal life,
they are.
trying to be more aware of the cost of things and things I can do without paying. And so like you mentioned, you love writing. I also love writing. And so part of our free resources will be, a lot of texts written by us. So I've already been writing a fair amount of blogs. Dr. Amy has been as well. So these blogs, we really are trying to add our personal touch, but also a professional experience. I think a lot of us have for whatever company or whatever it is, we see these blogs and sometimes they're kind of fluffy. And that kind of wasn't our goal. Our goal with these free resources was to make you feel like you're not alone, that your experiences, especially the challenges of grad school, because they are many, you're not a weirdo. And so we're writing about things like imposter syndrome, academic hazing, hidden curriculum, who you are in terms of your personality, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but also pairing that with the professional experience. A lot of the blogs that I've written so far, I've also been supporting some of my experiences with recent academic research. And so we really want, with those blogs and videos, we want that kind of personal touch while also having our professional experiences. And so one thing that I love is an outline. And so we also have these chapter by chapter, step by step guidelines for the different chapters of your dissertation. Later on, we'll show you, we even have a whole dissertation packet. And so we have these kind of personal touch documents and videos, as well as ones that you can use more formally in your research. Um, and these are regularly updated. We have regularly updated videos. These are inspired by client feedback. We might even have some clients from time to time because I think, and Dr. Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we really want to bring research back down to earth and make it approachable and not this scary thing that you feel like you have to have the wherewithal to be able to do.
Yeah.
Truly anyone can do research, but we want to help you get to that point. And so with these free resources, again, that accessibility, we're trying to underline here. Plus, we also just both love writing, so win-win.
Yeah, and I think I hope that's coming across is that we're just real people,
Hmm.
down to earth people, you
Hmm.
know. Um,
Hmm.
and again, this whole sense of being high up in the ivory tower, like
Hmm.
we can't stand that. We can't
No,
stand it.
not at all. Not at all. I mean,
Um,
we're
yeah,
talking here and I'm hearing, a dog barking in the dog park nearby. It's just life happens, right? And a lot of, I would say most of our clients we've worked with have also been working full time too,
yes,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Talk about lack of time, working full time, families, and going to
yes,
grad school. I
yes.
mean, they're the
We,
superheroes.
yeah, we,
So, yeah, sorry to interrupt, but yeah, this full dissertation packet, tell us about it.
yes, so excited about this. So this is something if you just want to go onto our website, pay and download it's like we try to think of every possible thing that you
Mm-hmm.
would need to know if you just want like a fill in the blanks, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
just feeling lost, or I just want to make sure that what I'm doing is on the right path. This is it, chapter by chapter, fill in the blank templates, word count suggestions, time management charts, examples,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even some things about IRB, because we both learned a lot about. There's a lot of similarities in terms of IRB requirements. Of course, we say all of this with the caveat, with a very important caveat. I think it's the first thing that I usually tell my clients is what are your university guidelines?
Mm-hmm.
What is the feedback you're getting from your advisor and your committee? That's always the place to start for
Yep.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. But there are a lot of commonalities, no matter the university or topic, or even, to some extent methodology. So that's what we've kind of figured out here.
Yeah.
This is something that, woo, I wish I had,
Tell me
years
about it.
ago. It just would have been a little peace of mind.
Tell me about it. And so, those of you tuning in right now, I see we have a handful there. I just put the link to this directly in the chat in case you want to access it
Oh,
there. And please enjoy. I think that this is me all over it. I am an outliner. I am a planner. I'm looking right here at my stack of planners. I love to be organized and I love to put a lot of work into making an organizational tool at the beginning that will then make everything after it super quick. So that's another reason why this full dissertation packet is fantastic, is that we did all of that beginning work. I also love to cook, so think of it as I did all the prep. We did all the prep work here, and now you can make your beautiful recipe with your dissertation. I just came up with that.
no,
I should
that's
be a
beautiful.
writer.
That's beautiful.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, so please click the link, check it out from our website.
Mhm.
And, if you're out there, you're watching this, and if you have any feedback on what other types of things you would like to see, or you have questions about that
Mhm.
don't exist there, we're always open to feedback.
Of course. Oh boy, here we go.
So
Um,
this is original to Dissertation Collective. We created this just again after working with so many people in identifying patterns in our clients, and these are archetypes. So um, this is just as a means to understand your blind spots,
mhm.
which we all have, but going back to the importance of reflecting on your own mindset so that you can progress, and you can progress successfully and quickly. So we have a nifty little short quiz
Mhm.
where, and the reality is you might be more than one of these, but you, based on the answers that you submit, and at this moment, right, you could shift from one to the other. Um, but one will emerge stronger than the other. Um, yeah. So,
And I'm putting that quiz right here in the
oh,
YouTube
thank you.
chat, right? As a millennial, I love a short quiz. Okay. Go. Hmm.
Yeah, so okay, we're going to go through each of these archetypes, and maybe you'll be thinking about, oh yeah, I can identify with that, or maybe you'll say I identify with this part from here and this part from
Yeah.
there. But it's just extremely helpful. And again, this is just not surprisingly, it's not covered anywhere.
No, not at all.
In and just hearing from our clients in their experiences in their graduate student programs, and then in other companies doing similar things, it's just it's shocking to me, and
Yeah.
so this again underscores our unique approach.
Yes, absolutely. And so I thought I'd take the charge on this one as a perfectionist in recovery, right? Formerly very, very perfectionist, and I still have those tendencies, as my close ones will attest. But you might be a perfectionist if you are constantly questioning your work, right? I think it's this. Oh, I think it was this. And then later on, oh, no, no, but what if it's not, right? Always thinking that you're missing something and that there's the one perfect answer to something or one perfect way to do something. And so part of that comes with this fear of if I make a mistake, then I'm going, then it's going to be, oh no, it's going to be horrible. And so you can be so worried about producing the perfect draft. And this can even go down to using the perfect word in a sentence, right? I know you perfectionists are out there. And so this idea of being afraid of making a mistake, it's holding up your progress, right? And so, that expression of don't let the perfect get in the way of the good, if someone's ever told you that before, right? And then that doubt creeps in, and then you start to spiral. If I don't get this word right, then this sentence is wrong, which then messes up this paragraph, which then ruins my flow, which then affects my whole chapter, which then means I'm not going to do my whole dissertation, which means I can't graduate, which means that everyone will hate, yeah, and it will spiral, spiral, spiral. Okay. And so the perfectionist, they will start their dissertation and then they'll get stuck in that shame spiral, so to speak, or that, I have to get the perfect thing here. And then before you know it, a month, 2 months, 3 months passes, your advisor's bugging you, and you just don't know how to start. Eventually, you get to completing your dissertation, but it takes a while to get there. So that's the perfectionist. I talk so much about it because, like I said, I am in recovery. I was definitely a spiraler. Okay. Man, tell us about the
Yeah,
next one.
yeah, and
What's
and
next?
about being in recovery or whatever. I
Mhm.
mean, what, but you're talking about something important there, because this is kind of what we're saying, is that in order to really discover what your blind spot is, your blind spot was being a perfectionist. You had
Mhm.
to be self-reflective and really think about it,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
maybe no one has ever bothered to ask you certain questions to really go, oh yeah, I am that. Oh yeah, yeah, that is
Oh.
me. This one, the perfectionist, is very, very common.
Mhm.
And I think especially at the graduate level, because we all
Yes.
get here because we love school. We always,
Mhm.
we're always the people who did our homework, and we always
Yeah.
want to put our best foot
Mhm.
forward. That's wonderful. Okay. But there's
Mhm.
always another side, right? And so this I've seen just with a lot of clients, is that they're just so afraid, and fears
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
is like underneath it,
Mhm.
and so until you realize that fear of doing the wrong thing is actually impeding your progress in a real way,
Mhm.
that this can keep you from moving forward.
Yep.
So maybe that's you.
Ooh.
Um, this one, the imposter, this is a huge one. I mean, I remember being in my program and just being surrounded by brilliant people and brilliant professors, and just every day, pretty much waking up thinking, oh, I'm gonna be found out.
Yeah.
They're gonna call me up and say, yeah, no, we know you got in and everything, but it was, yeah, we messed up. You shouldn't have gotten
Mhm.
it. Like every day.
Mhm.
And then that doubt becomes self-sabotage.
Yes.
I think we've all kind of experienced this at one point or another. But you know what? You kind of got to get over it. and one of the ways you get over it is just by continuing to move forward and ignoring those doubts. But that's sometimes easier said than done,
Mhm.
but so if you find yourself having those thoughts consistently, and I'm not just talking about just like a one-off thing, which we all have, but it's really starting to impede your progress. Just know you're certainly not alone with that.
You're certainly not the only imposter. It's kind of silly, huh? Right? The imposter always thinks that they're the only one, and then everyone who's an imposter. We're all imposters, so we're all not imposters.
Yeah, and that's the game, right? Like
Mhm.
some people might be better at just seeming like they have it all together, but I promise you they don't.
No.
And that's really just what it is the people who maybe that you're comparing yourself to, because that's another thing we do, is, and that's a mistake, but it's just a common human thing, natural thing, is to compare yourself to somebody else. But I've had a lot of clients who will compare themselves and compare their papers, and that's also impedes progress in a real way.
Hmm. Absolutely. Procrastinator. Okay. So, any procrastinators in the chat? So, the procrastinator, I think the procrastinator is the person who will always find a reason to put something off for, whatever reason. And like Dr. Amy said, we all have tinges of each of these, I would say. I've certainly had this tendency before. And so there's always something in the way of the thing right now. So if I need to be reading this article right now, something will come up. And then they'll say, well, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm too tired right now, or this happened, or and so eventually they get to a point where they're really not quite sure what to do. And so they don't do anything. And then those nothings start to pile up and become a mountain of tasks to do. And you get so overwhelmed. And then eventually the paper becomes something not that you're excited to work on anymore, but almost as a punishment. They view writing your paper as
Mm.
something extra, not part of your life. It's this other thing. It's not what I'm doing. And so by keep putting it off and missing these key deadlines, it becomes harder and harder to manage smaller tasks. And so we see a lot with time management here. It just seems, how do I even organize my time because I have so much to do. There's no way that one day will help me get back on track. And so I procrastinate again. And so it's this almost this kind of fear as well, I would say, having been through this myself, is you're so afraid that you don't know what to do that you just don't do it. And then it just builds up, and it becomes even more difficult. And so if this sounds like you are definitely not the only grad student who's gone through this.
Yeah, because I've had so many clients who, maybe every client, right, who has a life and is extremely busy,
Mhm.
works full time, has family, and they don't necessarily think of themselves as a procrastinator,
Mhm.
and that's why I think taking this archetype quiz could shift your perception a little bit in a way that's maybe uncomfortable at first, but becomes something that's really going to help you in a real
Mhm.
way. You may not think of yourself as a procrastinator, you probably even really hate that word, but it is time management. It really
Mhm.
is time management, and we're all busy. We all have things going on,
Yeah.
but if you, and this is why I tell my clients, if you don't set aside
Mhm.
specific time,
Mhm.
carve that time and integrate writing the dissertation into
Mhm.
your already busy
Mhm.
life and into your schedule
Mhm.
and routine, and integrate it in a real natural, a way that feels more natural. Things are
Mhm.
never, time is not ever going to magically
Mhm.
appear.
Yeah.
uh yeah,
But
so
yeah, exactly. And we have tips and tricks for this as well. I've worked with a lot of clients, as you have, and I've, given them some strategies and tips for things that might seem less overwhelming to help them start taking that first step and then building that momentum. So you are not you're not going to be left alone if you're a procrastinator. We have loads of tips and tricks for you.
Or even if you don't know that you're a procrastinator, but you know
Yeah.
that's really what you're
Take the
doing.
quiz.
Um, this for sure was me a time or two, and that's just white knuckling it and
Hmm.
just saying, I don't know, I'm just gonna do it myself. I don't need
Hmm.
anybody.
Hmm.
And but the problem is at some point you will need help because there's a lot of things about the dissertation process which are not intuitive. Maybe everything about the dissertation process is not intuitive, and that's why you need help, and that's why we exist, and
Hmm.
that's why we were successful as coaches,
Hmm.
um, is because it's you don't want to have to muddle through. That's I did that. It wasn't fun. It wasn't pleasant, and I wish that I had sought support. And I've had a lot of clients who say, "Man, I wish I'd found you sooner." I'm sure
Hmm.
Dr. Alex you've heard
Oh
that
yeah.
phrase a lot. I wish
Hmm.
I'd found you sooner,
Hmm.
but it's never, and it's never too late. Um, so I've had a lot of clients come to me and they're at all stages of the dissertation, and some of them that are very far in and they didn't get the foundations of their paper.
Hmm.
It's there's weaknesses there. It will eventually start to unravel.
Yeah.
So if you have doubts and you're not sure but you keep going,
Hmm.
it's good to keep going, but it's also good to reach out for help. So that's the lone wolf.
Hmm.
Okay, um, it might be a point of pride, but it's also going to affect your success at some point or another. So it's never too late to to reach out to us for help, right?
Hmm.
But the sooner the better, right, Dr. Alex?
Totally. Yes. And I think some people, I'm thinking of some clients I've had where they had to become a lone wolf because they didn't have a support system to help them. Either their advisor was totally hands off, or the advisor was in a different field, or the program didn't have professors at that moment. I know, couldn't believe it either. But sometimes some grad students have to become a lone wolf, even if it's not
Yeah,
one of their strengths. And so,
true.
whether you chose to white knuckle it, as you said, or you kind of found yourself in that position, you don't have to do it that way. And there's no kind of badge of pride
Right,
that you get from having done a dissertation completely
right,
solo, right? A
right.
good dissertation is a done dissertation, regardless. So, you don't have to go it alone.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up too about it. For a lot of people, it's like I'm not trying. Maybe some people are like, hey, I'm not trying to be a lone wolf. I don't want to
Exactly.
be a lone wolf. But yeah, that's again why community is just at the core of what
Yes.
Dissertation Collective is about.
Say it again.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh, goodness. The advisor chaser. Okay. Well, the advisor chaser's kind of self-explanatory. You are unable to move forward unless your advisor has told you you can move forward. And this is not, everyone more or less has to have their advisor's
yeah,
feedback. That's part of how you get your PhD or whatever. But it's this idea of being so afraid or unsure or lacking confidence to make a move to improve or to work on your dissertation or thesis unless your advisor has given you exactly what you need to do. So it does lead to this kind of codependency on your advisor's feedback. And advisors are busy. I just talked a minute ago about advisors who are not there or in different fields, or they're chairing other committees, or they're up for tenure, or folks are getting laid off, and they are having to make up some of their responsibilities. So there's a lot of waiting that comes with being an advisor chaser because advisors and professors are busy, and eventually you kind of start to lose your interest in your original topic because at this point it's just an exercise in getting that green check mark, so to speak, from your advisor to move on. And there's nothing that says you have to constantly be obsessed with your thesis or dissertation topic, but when you're just doing it to get approval, it does make the whole experience more challenging and make you question why you were even there, even more than you probably were. And so you're constantly waiting for your advisor's feedback. Everything starts to get a little bit hazy in terms of what was actually mine, what was theirs, why did I
Mhm.
even want to do this? What am I doing? Where do I go from here? And so this dependency on being an advisor chaser, and listen, as a not only a perfectionist in recovery, but a people pleaser in recovery, I totally understand this desire to want your advisor's approval for everything because you don't want to make a mistake or do the
Yeah.
wrong thing. I guess that's repetitive, but there are ways that you can and should make advances with your dissertation without your advisor having to sign off on everything on it. And we're happy to guide. That's why we have those free resources like the guidelines, the full dissertation packet, our blogs. There are many other resources we can provide that will echo some of the things of your advisor will say. And so it will just get you that confidence back and get you moving again.
Yeah, as you said, it's such a nuanced, complicated thing, and there's a reason a very, very, very small percentage of people get their,
Hmm.
advanced degrees. Well, this is hard. This is difficult, and dealing with your advisor and committees is sometimes you go into the program thinking that that's going to be the easiest part, and for a lot of people, it becomes the most challenging
Hmm.
because you
Hmm.
do, the person whose advice ultimately matters the most is the person, passing you along. So
Yes.
what their feedback is, you do have to rely on that to some extent,
Hmm.
right? So it's complicated.
Hmm.
You have to have that feedback, but some advisors are not, giving it to you, or they're not responding to you. Well, we have strategies, for
Hmm.
communication, because they're people too. They're spread thin, as you said, they're very busy.
Hmm.
So, but they're all are after, years of working with people, we've learned there are tips and things that we can suggest to you to get
Hmm.
the answers that you need and deserve. And so
Yes.
you didn't wake up one day and go, "Oh, I'm an advisor. I'm an official advisor chaser." No, but if you find yourself, I've had a lot of clients, and this really kind of breaks my
Hmm.
heart, where the original topic that they had and they were inspired about and they were fired up about, it gets
Hmm.
lost because they've
Yep.
gotten conflicting or absent feedback from their committee and their
Hmm.
advisor. And then everything
Hmm.
just gets muddled. And then just
Yep.
everything gets muddled, and you just completely lose yourself and lose. And then at some point you get burned out. And so we don't
Hmm.
want that to happen.
Nope.
So you want to get ahead of it. You want to have strategies
Hmm.
in a way that you're not sitting here saying, "Well, they're not responding to me, so I guess I can't move forward." No,
Yeah.
you can't. There are things you can do
Hmm.
that you don't have to rely on somebody else's
Hmm.
answer or feedback for. So it's complicated
Absolutely.
and it's nuanced, but there's, this is what you this is what you signed up for,
I know. And it's tough too. And I think particularly, the folks that are really, and every program is different, but I've had clients before who are really keen to get a specific advisor because they took a class with them and they really liked them, or
Mm-hmm.
they like their research. Um, what I learned is that there are also, this is someone that, depending on how hands-on or hands-off they are, this is someone that you're going to spend a fair amount of time with. And so you also need to think just compatibility wise, do you get along with them? Are they motivating to you? Are they micromanaging you? Are they very hands off? Are they rude to you? Are they working with a co-chair, co-advisor, situations like that? I've seen just in my own program during my PhD, um, co-chairs who did not get along with each other. And so one of them was telling the student one thing, the other
Yeah,
was telling them something different. And so the student's stuck in the middle of this because
right.
they don't know what to do. And so, as you're mentioning, we do have lots of tips and tricks and strategies for dealing with this because it's your degree. They are the ones who have to sign off on it, of
Yeah.
course. But, teaching you how to stand up for yourself and have that integrity to your research, whether that's full integrity or just little things you can do, because it is your dissertation, especially those of you paying lots of money, to get your degree. there's um, there's a lot that you can be doing in that case because those are the cases that really irritate me is when people are going to these expensive programs and not getting the help they need and deserve. So, yeah, let us help you.
Yes. And no, you're not alone.
Mhm.
Hey, so those are
Um,
the five archetypes, and those
Yeah.
that's our little introduction. So,
Yeah,
um,
we have some folks
hey,
watching right now. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. I am in there monitoring, so I've put things like the full dissertation packet. Feel free to take a look at that. The grad student archetype quiz, that's in there as well. And if you don't have any questions, that's fine, but we'll give you, a little bit here. And as I give you a minute to type your questions, if you have any, we will just put up on this screen here. But maybe while we're waiting on any questions, Dr. Amy, what is one piece of advice that you, just, spitballing here, one piece of advice that you would give to someone who maybe is an advisor chaser? Just something really simple, don't give it all away, but something that you experienced that you think, oh, that helped me or that helped one of my clients.
keep your emails short and to the point,
Hmm.
and have a call to action in your email. So don't put a
Hmm.
lot of unnecessary words in there.
Hmm.
Say, and the other thing is write with confidence,
Hmm.
because I have found that with a lot of advisors, it's kind of a test. It's maybe a part of the academic hazing thing of a test of how confident is this student about
Hmm.
what they're doing. And if
It's
you
get it.
convey confidence and you say, this is the methodology that I'm doing, this is the topic that I'm doing, I have a question about this, or I just wanted to make sure, is this okay? And
Hmm.
let that be the only thing that you put in that one
Hmm.
email.
Hmm. Exactly. If we can teach you a little bit more about assertiveness too, right? Because you mentioned a little bit ago, we see these big researchers or these professors who've been there forever. And when you get on the other side of grad school, like Dr. Amy and I, you realize they're just people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you don't, nobody can talk to you disrespectfully or irrespectfully. Oh gosh, English teacher, disrespectfully. Thank you. Okay. Nobody has the right to do that, even if you're in the program. And so, as we're working together at Dissertation Collective with you, really kind of teaching you some of those skills for communication and self-confidence, all of those psychological aspects that go to
Mhm.
mindset and motivation. We really want to help you bolster those because believe it or not, this is not something that we see talked about a lot in certainly not
Mm-mm.
grad school, but definitely not in the coaching sphere either. And this is something missing. Those of you watching at home, you matter. You deserve a positive, well, as positive as possible grad school experience. It's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. But nobody gets to talk to you or condescend to you. And so if we can help you deal with that, which is these professors, we'll be happy to.
Yeah, and you are paying for it. So,
Yes.
I've had a lot of clients who are afraid. They don't want to bother their, and I think I was the
Hmm.
same way. I don't want to bother my advisor,
Hmm.
bother them,
Yes. That's what they're there
be,
for.
be assertive, like
Hmm.
send them the email now.
Hmm.
The prioritize the questions that you have, starting with the one that's most time sensitive
Hmm.
or the
Hmm.
highest level, and work your way down. Don't put a bunch of questions, make it super easy
Hmm.
for them to
Hmm.
respond back, and
Hmm.
put a little checkbox in there,
Hmm.
right?
I
Like,
love that. Yes.
yes or no, you
Yes
know
or no. Love that. Yes, exactly. And so, I will have lots more to come with that in the group cohorts and the one-on-one coaching and the community. I think as more and more of you join the community, you will notice, wow, the thing that I thought was only me is so not only you. There's
Mm-mm.
so many, I mean, just in the years that we've been doing this, Dr. Amy and I, it doesn't matter where you are, right? Of course, there's cultural context, of course, goes without saying, but so much of grad school, you see similar challenges and experiences. And so I think with this communal aspect of Dissertation Collective, it'll maybe open your eyes to some of these challenges that are grad students everywhere, and we want to be there to help. All right, so no questions in the chat. We must have just explained it so well.
We
So
did
let's
do a
go
good
to
job.
the
Okay.
special announcement, Amy.
Okay,
Go
so
for it.
this is the 20% discount for first 25 users, and you just put the promo code promo20 when you go to pay. There will be a little box, and the offer expires in 48 hours. And yeah, just come check us out on our website, look around, and email us with questions, please.
Mhm.
We're here for you.
Okay, and I'm just putting that in the chat, just letting everyone know. Okay, January 28th, enter code promo 20. Yes. And yes, we are going live. We're officially open for business.
Yay!
Yes.
So
So
exciting.
yes, please feel free to get that early access. We are launching together. The future of academic research is starting now. Uh, we are all about community. This, and honestly, those of you watching, we've been working on this for a while because we've
Yes,
been doing this for a while and
yes,
we've seen some commonalities. And so,
yes.
yeah, Amy, if you want to just remind us of the contact email, our website information, just for those who might
Mhm.
just be listening and not watching.
Okay. Yeah. So we have just our generic email is hello that will go to us hello@dissertationcollective.com or amy@dissertationcollective.com or alex@dissertationcollective.com. I'm Amy, that's Alex.
Mhm.
Uh, our website is beautiful. The archetype quiz is there. Um, let's see what else. We have a presence here on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We are just starting out, guys. So
Mhm.
we will continue to regularly add content in
Mhm.
all of these platforms, and always open to feedback and suggestions.
Absolutely. And Amy and I, we started this because we were doing it together and we noticed some things that we thought could just really help grad students even more. And so hopefully with this emphasis on that mindset, that motivation, that mastery, knowing, who or what your grad student archetype is, these are things that are meant to help you learn more about yourself to skyrocket or springboard your success. And
Mhm.
so we really want to do this together. We are a community and we're so excited to be here.
Okay.
All right. Any final words?
No, I think we covered it.
Um,
Yeah, super excited,
Good.
guys. We'll see you
Wonderful.
next time on
We'll
our
see you
next.
next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, other way. Turn it. I think you turned it on.
Yeah.
Okay, good. No, we're live still now.
Mm.
No, we're not. Okay. Okay, now hit it again. Hit the live button again one more time. Down below on YouTube.
Mm.
Mm, how do we go? Okay, perfect. I think we're good. It's still streaming.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna stop recording and then
Hmm.
we can just end the
Yeah, because I'm seeing us on YouTube right now, still talking.